Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Addie. Today I'm going to be showing you a video of my weekend project that I took on this weekend, and that was to totally reorganize and clean my kitchen cabinets and pantry. I am so excited to show this to you guys. It turned out so well in my opinion, and I can't wait to share it with you. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Let's get organizing. So step one of trying to get things like a little better organized in the kitchen is to put these drawers into our cabinets that are just cabinets so that we can have a rollout. And we ordered this when we ordered our cabinetry, but we never installed it. We did get one for under the sink too, but I'll show you. We have a lot of obstacles under there that obviously would impede a drawer. So we're gonna have to either make our own box, well, I say we, but really Dan, or customize it somehow and put some notches in it so that it fits. So hopefully that works out. So I wanna do something with my spice cabinet because it is just crazy. And I was just looking up online the spice jars that you can order, and they're like $25 to $30 for 12 to 24 of them. And they come with labels, but I wouldn't use them anyway, so I'm too cheap for that. So I literally went through all of my spices and found the ones that matched the most, like how many I had the most of, and it was these ones, and so they are similar. So I am taking the labels off, and we're just gonna wash them to try to get, you know, all the label stuff off. And then we're gonna use those as the ones that look pretty, and the rest I'm just gonna put in a basket or something, because I honestly don't care if the spices that I don't use all the time look pretty or not. They're gonna be in a basket in the back of this pantry where no one can see them. So I want the ones that people can see to be pretty, the ones that I use, and other than that, I don't really care. And so unfortunately, the ones that I had the most of are all spices that I don't use very often. So what I did was I just put the spices in ramekins and labeled them. And I'm gonna wash out the containers really good, let them dry really well overnight so that they're not wet at all when I try to put other spices in there. And then I'll do the same thing for the other ones I'm transferring. So I finished washing these last night, and so they're all dry, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the most used spices in the ones that match, and then put the other ones in the random bottles. Let's hope this works out. I actually still don't have the labels that I want to put on these, so I'm probably gonna go to the store today and pick some up, find some that I like. I have labels that I put that down, that I put on these ones. There's like the black chalk ones, but they're too big for the spices, so I'm hoping to find something like this in a smaller form so that everything kind of matches. But we'll see. I might be, you know, out of luck in that department and just have to do whatever I can find. All right, I would not recommend using a funnel. I honestly think this would have been faster just to pour it. I feel like spices is that one thing where you need like a little bit, and then, well, of some spices, maybe I'll get more of the ones I use a lot, but sometimes you use like a little bit of the spice for a recipe or something, and then you never touch that spice again for like 3 years, and then suddenly you need it, and you don't throw them away, so they just take up room in your pantry. I don't know. Do you guys keep your spices? I feel like that's normal. I feel like you always keep spices. Do you guys keep your spices, or do you throw them away if you don't use them after a certain time? I know. Gotta keep my little Post-its with them so I know what they are before I leave the label. Okay, so this is not a mess-free activity. I'm spilling everywhere, so if you decide to do this, know that up front. All right, I'm gonna give you the quick before tour. Honestly, I don't think that my pantry is that bad, to be honest. I just think it could work better and we could maximize our space better. It's kind of a little disheveled right now because I knew that I was gonna do this, so I haven't been as good at keeping up with things as I normally am. But in general, I don't think it's like horrible. So we're just making it better and more aesthetically pleasing and more functional. And that's the key thing, is more functional, because I will show you things are just spilling everywhere. So here is what we are working with.
This is the upper to the right of the stove. It has mostly my oils and spices and dry pantry goods. I also keep vegetables, potatoes, onions in there. To the left, I have baking, breakfast, dry goods. I don't have a pantry, so this is where we kind of keep things in the uppers. This is the worst drawer, not organized at all. Here we have pot holders. Here we have the pantry more or snack drawer, mixing bowls and measuring cups. We have cooking trays and baking trays here. Here's our cutlery, and that's trash. Under the microwave, we have stuff, junk. Here we have all the appliances with the lovely new rollout, so that's organized. Here's measuring cups and baking and peelers. Here is our spatulas and big spoons and stuff for the stove. And then here we have pans, and underneath is pots. To the right of that, we have our cutting boards, and then the worst drawer of all, the junk drawer. This is atrocious. I really need to figure out something for that. Here we have our dishes and cups. This is just everyday stuff. And then over on the other side, we have random things, salad spinner, colander, and Tupperware. Below that, I have all of our bags and cling wraps. And then below that, I have more Tupperware and more Tupperware, because apparently we don't have enough Tupperware in this house. Over on the left, I have towels. They take up 2 drawers, and then the kids' drawers at the bottom, which also really needs some help. Above the fridge, I have less used items, and then trays in the nook.
So that is before. So now we need to get on to taking everything out of the cabinets, because obviously the first step to organization is taking everything out and cleaning it. My cabinets themselves really need a cleaning. Like, I feel like when you have kids, they just get really extra dirty. So I'll show you them. Just look how dirty that is. Just from spills and from the kids' fingers. All right, so I have both girls asleep right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started with removing everything from the pantries and cabinets, and just get everything out and try to sort it by like items, so that then I can put it back together more functionally appropriate. And I have bins and boxes and containers and Lazy Susans and just things that I have purchased to make sure that I have the right thing that I might need to be able to organize better. I would rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
Second night I've dreamt about you, babe. I don't know how I should tell you, babe, that lately I get lost thinking about you. I admit that I can't be without you.
I literally just moved my dining room table to the kitchen so that I had a place to put things, because there is so much stuff in here, like way more than I thought, and I'm only 2 cabinets in. Isabel's gonna be so excited when she sees that we don't have to eat dinner at the dining room table. She loves eating dinner in the family room and like watching a movie while having dinner. And we don't really do that much, because we have a rule about not eating at the table unless it's like a pretzel or something, you know, like a snack that's not gonna ruin the carpet or the couch. But she's gonna love it. She's gonna be so excited. So I finally got everything out of the cabinets and drawers, and it is bonkers. My current state of affairs. This is absolutely nuts. You guys, even when we moved in this house, I don't think I had things in such disarray. This is nuts. I cannot believe this. But it's okay. We're gonna make it all better. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be perfect. All right, so now that I have everything out, I'm gonna go ahead and clean everything before I start putting things back in. That way everything is nice, clean, and fresh, ready to go, and we're starting with a clean slate.
Feel like I've been losing
Post-it note and just put what I think should go in each cabinet or drawer on the Post-it note and stick it to it. That way I kind of know in my head where I think things are gonna be going, and I can better help organize. I did that when we moved in and it really seemed to help, because Post-it notes, you know, you can just take off and put somewhere else if you decide you want it somewhere else. So little tip, if you are organizing your kitchen, use Post-it notes to mark your cabinets and drawers.
Nothing if you're not here, giving me something I can hold on to. Baby, please don't leave.
In general, I think that I have a good idea of where I want things to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started on just starting to put things back away, knowing that, you know, if I need to adjust, I can.
Give me life, I need you. Hold me close, I want to. Shut all the world out, just you and me.
Okay, so we are day 3 or 4, I don't know anymore at this point, but last night I was pretty much able to get everything back into the cabinets and organized and do some cleaning. So things are pretty clean right now, except for I have not wiped down the actual cabinets yet. I did the insides before I put things back in, but I haven't wiped down the surfaces of those. So I'm gonna do those really quick before I give you a tour of the new cabinets. I just got back from church and the girls are playing by themselves. I have a bridal shower later, so I'm just gonna wipe them down in my nice clothes. I shouldn't, but I don't want to change and then have to change again. So I'm just gonna do it and hope I don't get anything on my clothing. I will catch you guys for a tour in just a couple minutes.
Give me life, I need you. Hold me close, I want to. Shut all the world out, just you and me.
Wiping down all the cabinets. They look great. So I'm excited to give you the tour. Here we go. Okay, I'm starting over by the sink. Nice and decluttered. And I like it because everything that we would use by the sink, like a strainer, a colander, the salad spinner, is over here for ease. Below that, I have our cling wrap, which has not changed much. This was pretty good before. And Tupperware. And more Tupperware, because apparently we need a lot of Tupperware here. Over in this one we have our everyday dishes, so plates, bowls, saucers, regular cups, mugs, to-go cups, water bottles, and decorative mugs. And then this is all our outdoor wear, or like china, like the stuff we don't really use often. And then down here, I was actually able to clear space for 2 drawers. So this one's empty, this one has our towels, and then this one is also completely empty. To the island, we have all of our cutlery. This is just trash, so I'm not gonna show you that. This is now all the kids' stuff. Over here, I have just our odds and ends that like are not for baking or prepping it, or like knives of some sort. And then our tissue box, because I like it hidden and it fit perfectly in that space. This one below, I have our appliances. And then on the pull-out drawer newly installed, we have the Instapot and the blender. Moving over here, this is, I think, by far my favorite cabinet. We have snacks here, baking supplies, And then just like pantry staples that we use all the time, like coffee, peanut butter, hazelnut, chocolate milk, syrup. Up here we have breakfast and baking. This one I have marshmallow, s'mores, popcorn, cookies, granola, and that bucket is tea. And then behind here is a basket of candy so that I cannot easily get to it because I have a problem. And then up here is baking dishes, and in there is less used baking items. Below here I have our pot holder. This corresponds with what's in the cabinet above, so baking and then coffee. So this is our baking supplies, and I also just have clips and rubber bands because below is the pantry and the snacks, so we need those clips for some of these things sometimes. But this is kid zone, mom zone, snack zone. On one more is all of our bowls, all our mixing bowls and big measuring cups and baking sieves. This is baking trays, as well as my rolling pin. And in here, I have baking leftovers, sprinkles and cupcake tins, that sort of thing. These things we use a little more often. I use sprinkles with science experiments and stuff for Isabel in her play, so I did want to have it a little bit more accessible. And then moving on to the other side of the stove is more of my cooking prep, spices, pantry type zone, so that's what you'll see there. So in here is all our cutting boards, and then I have our less used appliances in here, smaller ones. In here I have some extra knives, and then this is kind of our unjunk junk drawer. Flashlight, measuring tape, keys, and our slate board pens, or chalks, or whatever they are, I don't know. But goes along with our knife strip here. Making our way over, here is our most used spices, nicely labeled in the same jar. We have our spatulas and spoons, our thermometers, tongs, rubber spatulas, matches, and these cups go to the rice maker. And the rice maker usually goes like right there, so that's why that's there. Here is our pans, and I just kept the lid with the pan so that they were not cluttered or somewhere else. And then down below is our pots. Again, each one has its own lid. This cabinet, which is completely empty on the top, which leaves us so much space to grow. I have my unused spices here and my canned goods here. Here I have my dry goods, my beans, pastas, rices, my oils, and then down here I have bins for onions, potatoes, and other vegetables that would be in our pantry. To be honest though, I actually don't know if I like these bins. I mean, I like that they're see-through, but I wish these weren't as wide. They were more narrow and taller to use the space more. I think I'm gonna continue my search for new buckets that will fit in this space a little better. These are just the only ones that I could find that were narrow enough or shallow enough that my cabinets would still close all the way. That's how I ended up with those, but follow me on Instagram if you don't already, because if I find some and I replace them, I will share it in my stories so that you can see the update and what I actually did end up with there if I decide to change it out. And last but not least, I'll take you over to above the fridge. Up on the top, I have some of our unused pans and Christmas stuff. I have our serving platters here, an unused appliance that we really don't use that often, some more unused pans, and some vases. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you get some good ideas from this organization. I will see you in the next one. Bye.